Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sean Walker. I am a portfolio manager at Endeavor South Africa. I would like to welcome you all to tonight's Enterprise Learning Circle, where we'll be talking about the various support organizations for entrepreneurs in South Africa. So Endeavor is a global nonprofit organization. We're in 10 emerging markets, including South Africa. We're also in 6 Latin American countries, Egypt, Jordan, and Turkey as well. 3 main areas. One is access to our global network. The second way is through our partnerships with consulting firms and business schools. And the third is through our volunteer network of advisors, which we call our Venture Corps. So what we found is oftentimes our entrepreneurs don't have the resources in-house to do large-scale strategic projects. And so what we've done is we've developed partnerships in South Africa with consulting firms such as Ernst & Young and Deloitte, whereby they give free consulting hours to our entrepreneurs on these types of projects. And that Venture Corps is a volunteer network in South Africa of about 150 professionals who provide advice, guidance, and mentorship to our entrepreneurs on key areas of business development. The idea is that we really want to have a dialogue about what it means to be an entrepreneur in South Africa and the importance of entrepreneurship to this country.
Hi everyone, my name is Julia Pittman and I represent a company called All World Network. I'm just going to give you a little bit of background on All World Network and then the South Africa Fast Growth 100 and what it is that we do. And what they did was to launch the Inner City 100 lists, which were rankings of the fastest growing 100 companies in inner cities in the United States. The project was so successful in the United States that Gordon Brown, who was the then Chancellor of the Exchequer in the United Kingdom, invited Deirdre and Anne and Michael Porter and the nonprofit to launched the same program in the United Kingdom using the same model, which they duly did, and that ran for 5 years very successfully. South Africa, for example, would be the anchor economy for a region. They launched the South Africa Fast Growth 100 list, which is a ranking of the fastest growing entrepreneurial private companies in that country. On the one level, our goal is to profile the entrepreneurial heroes of a country, so to highlight who you are and what it is that you are doing right. Job creation will only come through entrepreneurial companies. You are the people who are going to be creating the jobs that South Africa and Africa need in the future. Getting onto the list doesn't cost anything. You can't buy your way onto the list. It is purely based on revenue performance over 5 years. The list is not just a beauty pageant of who are the top entrepreneurs in South Africa. It highlights what's working for entrepreneurs at the moment, what's not working, what do entrepreneurs need, what are the support organizations doing to help entrepreneurs.
Good evening, my name is Julia and I'm here to represent GIVES. As many of you know, we've launched a full-time MBA for entrepreneurs. That first full-time MBA is now underway. We've got 30 entrepreneurs in full-time study with their business ideas, getting down to business. Come and study at GIBS. We've got lots to offer. We're mentoring all of our students at the moment. We go through an incubator phase. We've got all sorts of things in place to help you get your business off the ground.
Thank you so much, Sean. Good evening, everyone. I'm really, really delighted to see so many people. This is the last session of the year for us in terms of the ELCs. So I thought that maybe we were going to have a little bit of fatigue from the workshop. But you guys really came out in huge numbers, so really welcome. Thank you very much for coming out. We have a very, very distinguished panel of eminent experts on entrepreneurship. What we wanted to do tonight is to show that there is support for entrepreneurs in South Africa. Endeavor is not the only organization. There's a lot of great organizations who are doing great work, and we felt it was important for you to give you a sense about who's out there to help you in many different aspects. So, without further ado, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of start with perhaps Martin on the right. And Martin, my first question to you would be around what have you seen in terms of, in the past few years, in terms of the emergence of entrepreneurship, but more importantly, the needs of entrepreneurs and the type of services, the quality of services that have been offered to entrepreneurs. Has it worked? Has it not worked? And if so, what are some of the learnings that you've gathered in the past few years?
One can divide the world of entrepreneur support in a number of different ways. You can divide it from the entrepreneur's perspective, you can divide it from the institutional perspective, and I'll do a little bit of both. I think it's fair to say that because entrepreneurship, and part of entrepreneurship, I think, is going through the process of very consciously deciding to take responsibility for your own financial and business destiny. And because it's a journey, you never quite arrive, because just when you think you are where you want to be, you realize that, you know, there's more journey ahead. It's always about getting to the next level. And that means you've got to figure out what the next level is for you. Depending on where you are, you obviously need to try and find the best place to assist you. If you walk into CEDA, they have to help you because it's taxpayer funded. And the product sets, the product range is divided into what CEDA calls talk, which is come and talk to us about if you want to start a business, start, which is come and talk to us if you're ready to start your business, and grow. Generally, it's, you know, one does find with these large organizations that there is bureaucracy. It's quite difficult to walk in and get immediate assistance when you need it. The business place is a completely different animal. It sees, although it's a much smaller organization, and it's a non-profit NGO, donor-funded, and it only has 9 branches in South Africa. It sees nearly the same number of people as CEDA, where the business place is not somewhere you go, but it's somewhere where you belong. We co-locate with the idea is that in our buildings we have a whole lot of different support services. So, for example, in Marshall Street we've got Black Umbrellas, which is a very interesting incubator model. We've got accounting services. We've got youth development programs. Enablis, the third institution or organization, is again very different. And really, Enablis is a funding organization.
Let's move on to Leila. Leila Karloun from Ashoka.
Thank you very much for having me and for everyone for taking their time to be here today. My name is Leila Akathloon. As you mentioned, I work for Ashoka here in Southern Africa, where I manage all of our programs across the continent. Ashoka started about 30 years ago as an organization that was dedicated to identifying and investing in social entrepreneurs. Social entrepreneurs being individuals who are shaping the social development sector as opposed to the financial sector. So we have a wide range of programs and services dedicated to helping our social entrepreneurs, nurturing the new ideas they have and helping to grow their organizations. Probably one of the most interesting is our venture capital model. We provide our social entrepreneurs with 3 years of funding, which is basically a salary that provides them with the time and the space to start up their organizations. They really not have to focus on taking up different types of jobs. We provide the social entrepreneur with, and through our partners, with management consulting advice, with marketing support, PR assistance. We have a program that's set up to provide pro bono legal assistance to our Ashoka fellows.
Let's move on perhaps to James. So James Wanjori from the Brunson School of Entrepreneurship.
Malik, thanks for having me here, and thank you for all attending this. One of the biggest problems that South Africa lacks is role models of entrepreneurs who the young, upcoming, previously disadvantaged youth can actually look upon. So we currently are working with the students at CEDA City Campus. We've developed a curriculum in entrepreneurship, and the whole idea of the curricula is to help them demystify the whole idea about what entrepreneurship is about, bring in role models to them, give them seed capital, get them to learn about entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is also about failure. Let them learn a bit out of failure and learn that you can actually get up from failure and go back on the road. We've also set up an incubator. We're looking for that innovative young entrepreneur who's got the spirit, the guts to go out there, is doing something for himself, but doesn't have all what it takes. And that's why we fill in the space